Hi, welcome to the StockinetteZombies. I'm Amy, also known as Janet Ma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It, and this is episode 259.
Oh.
Yeah, we're trying to utilize weekend daylight hours, but it's been increasingly difficult for my family. So on the weekends we have soccer × 2 on Saturday mornings. And then the last 2 weekends in a row, which felt like the last month, to be honest, we've had biking races where there's a pre-ride on Saturday afternoon, and then there's a Sunday morning call time, and then we want to hang out all day with our cool biking friends and my husband's friends with the biking coaches for the rest of Sunday. And it gets to be a bit much. Like, find myself doing laundry at weird hours of the night while I'm trying to get like soccer jerseys done last night, and it's just crazy when you don't have your weekends and you spend your whole weekend doing stuff that you didn't normally do on the weekend. So, and you've got a soccerer and a soccer player.
Yep.
And Boy Scouts camping this weekend, you said?
Yep, it's been busy summer already.
Mm-hmm.
Or fall, school year? Yeah. Snap into it.
I'm just like,
where am I? What am I doing?
Who? What? Huh?
Wake up. Yeah, the fall has been really, really busy.
Yeah.
And when you feel like you're being lazy, or not lazy, but your weekend, you're catching up, and then the weekend's over before you know it, and you're like, oh, I didn't do all the laundry. Like, I only got half the laundry done. Or, like, any cleaning I did got immediately undone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, ugh, okay, when does this, there's never any time to just sit back and enjoy life.
Yeah. Well, and again, I enjoy watching Ellie race. I'm super proud of her and what she's been able to accomplish, and like all of the people that she's, interacting with and whatever, but it just kind of seems like you're just running from one thing to the next. And normally there used to be kind of like okay, we got to the weekend, right?
Mm-hmm.
After the soccer games on Saturday, I would have some time on Saturday evenings and on Sunday during the day to, like you were saying, get stuff done, or, just have a moment to breathe, I guess. But it gets to be Monday morning now, and I'm like, where did the weekend go? And it wasn't because of, like, necessarily I was out gallivanting and doing fun stuff, right?
Right.
So, yep. Fun with kids, which you may now hear screaming outdoors. We have the windows closed, but if they scream loud enough, I bet the microphone picks it up.
Yeah, so much laser tagging going on.
Yeah.
Looks like that.
Yes. Well, yeah. It used to be that there was no way that we could podcast unless the kids were asleep or my husband took them somewhere. And now I think they're old enough that we can say don't come in, or I guess maybe I've become good enough at editing or knowing that we can, like, okay, if somebody interrupts, then we'll slice that piece out and get her back together. But yeah, how are things going otherwise? I know that we've been married for 14 years now, so you and Matt have been married for 14 years as well.
Yep.
And an anniversary come and go.
I lost track, though, because I was like, 13? No. What?
See, and yours is so easy. So you were married on September 4th of 2004. Like, I have to subtract 14. I have to go, Amy got married 2 weekends before me, and her year was the same as her day. You're like my mnemonic device to getting to the year. So I thought you just had it in the bag, man.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, 14 years, which means that now it will have been 4 years since we drug our husbands to upper New York, upstate New York. Yeah.
Time flies.
Because that was yesterday. That was the 10th anniversary, right? It's so funny to say hour, and then it sounds like, but yes.
Yes. No,
It's kind of like a friendship anniversary, right? Which Susan and I just had this week. We marked the day where she put something out on Plurk about like, hey, I'm sewing if anybody wants to text me. And I was like, I'll text her. Hey, Susan, how are you doing? Friendiversary. So our friendiversary would be like us.
New Year's Eve.
Yeah, New Year's Eve 2003, because we were both like, hey, we're getting married next year.
Yeah.
Yep. So, anyway.
Yep.
Flashback. I don't know if I'd do anything different if I could go back and do it all over again. Maybe with some of the foresight that I have now. Definitely would probably relive the day that and do things differently when my sister passed away, but no regrets other than that. What else?
So, yeah.
You did some traveling.
Yeah, I went out
last we podcasted.
I had some work trip, and then I also went up to the Granite Games, which is a CrossFit competition, and helped them out. Volunteering, and I enjoy volunteering at those events. It's a lot of fun. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it next year because they're moving it to June. Like, June's a busy month for me.
We have something going on that month.
We usually do. So yeah, so that's kind of up in the air, and we're so busy these days. I mean, everybody. That, yeah, it might just have to be...
The royal we.
Yeah,
I think that's the name of the podcast, because I've now said we've been married for 14 years, and you just said we were so busy. But yeah, the royal we. We're all pretty busy.
Yep.
In June.
All right, I had to rip back.
Uh-oh.
So, hopefully I didn't drop any stitches. So wait, I see one. Okay. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, and... yeah, that might be coming to an end just because of timing and life, and but I sure enjoyed one of the last hurrahs up in St. Cloud for that, and met some new friends, or at least reacquainted myself with some people who became better friends, and yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I don't know. Other than that, I lost my knitting mojo a couple weeks while we were not podcasting. And I've still been trying to get it back. I don't know why. I just get really tired at the end of the days. It must be pretty stressful or something at work. Or, I don't know.
Yeah.
Mentally taxing, so I just want to stare at some sort of moving picture screen and not lift my arms or...
Yeah, the nature of my work, and this is now the 4th year that I've been in the genomics and bioinformatics area, is that a lot of the research projects and a lot of like the clinical projects are like 2018 goals, right? Or the funding was for 2018. And so the end of the year is often very, very stressful in my area. And I'm noticing it just like in my calendar. Can't remember, I was looking at something on Instagram and somebody had posted one of those like it's not a meme but like a repost of like a distress or de-stress posts, and I was reading it and like all of the things it said like to the way to de-stress were like get your shoulders out of your ears, right? Like lower your shoulders. And as I was scrolling, I noticed when I was reading it, I had my tongue at the top of my mouth, and like my teeth clenched, and like all these ways that you carry stress was in this post. And I was like, hey, yeah, I am. Apparently I need to lower my shoulders.
Super
I need
stressed.
to, yeah, well, not super stressed, but just like, it's little things, right? That all kind of, 1,000 little paper cuts, right? That kind of add up between like feeling like you don't have a restful weekend, and then going to work and being in meetings from 9 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock at night, day in and day out. Used to have Friday to kind of get caught up on stuff, and now my Fridays are booked with meetings because my other days have filled up, and they're now spilling into the Fridays. And but yeah, I agree. Sometimes I come home and I'm like, I think I might just stare at the TV a little bit instead of engaging brain. But in general, I overcome because I've got things that I want to do. Although Rhinebeck is, I think a couple of days ago, somebody posted Rhinebeck is 30 days away. And I was like, what? I have no Rhinebeck sweater. I have no. I don't know what the neighborhood kid is saying.
Nope. Don't know either.
But sorry, mind off. Got off of track there. But
Rhinebeck. No
yes,
sweater.
I have no sweater. I do know that Miss Karen is coming now. We've got a big full house that I'm going to be a part of, and so I'm super excited to go see my brother. And yeah, yep, it's coming. I might try to, like, I don't know. It's probably not going to be next weekend because I think we've got another bike race, but try to do a weekender or something. I don't know. Do something exciting, right?
Yeah. My friend from college is getting married MEA weekend, so I've been focused on that, and I think Rhinebeck is after that, right?
I think so. I think MEA is earlier now. It used to like fall on it, and now I think it's earlier.
Well, it's the 18th, 19th, 20th.
Oh, so it's the same weekend.
Oh, same weekend still?
Yep.
So yeah, I am headed to Mississippi.
Whilst I am in New York.
Yes, I will be boiling, and you will maybe enjoy some fall weather.
Yeah, that was kind of my thought process. So it was really warm last year. And so my thought process was kind of like, well, maybe I've got some of these lighter tops that I can just bring, but it's kind of fun to have something that you explicitly knit for the, I guess. It feels like it's in the spirit of the program. Like pulling out a sweater I've already worn to multiple events just doesn't.
Yeah. Well, and it's also kind of fun to be like, did I guess correctly? Am I in the majority of the sea of sweaters that are all the same?
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, there's usually one or two that are just
last year I was working on the Sunset Highway.
Oh, we see.
And everybody was wearing it. Yes. That was the sweater to wear last year. Although, I think I would have seen more had it not been broiling.
Yeah.
It was very warm. It was very warm. And I was on Rhinebeck Row, so I was wearing the Minnesota 52 stuff. Which, by the way, we've got a super sale going on for the Minnesota 52 book because we're almost to the end of our printing. On the physical book, you can get it shipped to you for $20, and that includes shipping.
So
heck of a deal.
All in $20.
Yep. So if you were waiting for a good deal, or and the print book is kind of fun. I mean, it's kind of, I don't know. It's hard to say and be impartial, but my mom has it on her coffee table. So it's kind of coffee table-y, right? To flip through, and there's stories and a recipe, and not to say that the digital version is bad, but if you wanted an actual physical copy, grab it now, knitcahoots.com. And then we can go into Administrati.
Okay, perfect.
You ready?
Yes.
You ready for this? Okay, so we had some drawings. But I wanted to remember, because I haven't written it down, we were talking about the zombie meetup being at Vogue Knitting Live this year.
Potentially, yeah.
So I want to put that in people's ears if they want to plan or are planning to go. We could have like a thread out in the forums if you're coming to Vogue Knitting Live. If you're coming to Rhinebeck, let us know too. We'll say hi to you. Yeah, I'll be on the hill. I'll be on the hill.
You're going to be in Mississippi.
So, yeah.
Like,
hey, it's just as random as me saying I'm going to be, although there are quite a few knitters that are going to be there. So not as random.
I don't think that there are going to be very many knitters in this wedding.
There might be. Let's prove her wrong, Internet. Crowdsource. I'll be in Mississippi. And it's a big state. They may not be in the exact location that but I did say New York. Anyway. So spring into summer. Summer is over. Fall is officially today, I believe.
Yes.
Apropos.
So we are drawing, or we actually are not drawing.
We're not. Generosity abounds. So we're going to do this just like the Scrappy Happy. There are prizes for everybody that finished a top.
That's
or an object, right? We had
summer objects.
Yep, summer objects. In the threads, we did the math and saw that we had a reasonable amount. So this is going to be contact me with your address and your order of preference. And so the faster you can get it in, the more likely you would be to get. So the first one is we've got everything that's soft from
the ZK.
From ZK. So we've got the 5K towel, we've got the Totally Teal, we've got a patch, we've got a coloring book, and we've got a fabulous bag from the Silver Shed USA. This is one kit. And so, if that's your choice, you could say the ZK 2018 kit. We have a ZK 2017 sock, Adventure Walk sock bag, and then coloring books for the remainder.
The 3 color thing? That's not it?
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
They also have this really nice thing here, too.
Yes, from Appalachian Baby, the organic cotton in 3 colors. So ZK 2018, ZK 2017, Appalachian Baby cotton, and then everybody else that contacts in would get a coloring book if their choices were already selected. So.
Yep.
Or if you just want a coloring book and none of those things trip your trigger. Who am I to say? I'm passing judgment, or not passing judgment. I'm pushing judgment on you. Wouldn't you want this super cool thing? Maybe you don't. Maybe the coloring book is the thing that you want. Right.
So again, everybody who finished, thank you for participating.
Yes.
I know that it was a really long KAL and didn't quite see a lot of traction with it, but
we do appreciate the folks that joined in. So I knit summer top. We knit some summer things in there.
We did,
but we'll have to think of something new for the fall here.
Yeah, got any ideas? You can submit them in the comments of either YouTube or wherever.
I'm thinking, I'm totally in a hat mood right now. Like, I think that's another reason why I haven't just put together a yarn and gone I'm making a Rhinebeck sweater.
Hats.
Yeah, I've just been into hats for some reason.
All right.
I think it's the boom boom pow. It's 2 nights. Whoa. Okay, we're not an a cappella group. Happy Scrappy KAL for August. It was 1 through 303. There is yarn from Stunning String in their dynamic DK base. So pretty in the plum colorway, very iridescent. Very iridescent. And then, believe it or not, Halloween is coming.
Yes.
So we've got a Silver Shed USA candy corn bag, and then a pattern of your choice from my Ravelry shop that is available for purchase on Ravelry, and through me, I guess that I should put that caveat in there. And so that's 3 numbers. We had number 201, number 3, and number 52. So 201 is Willow Creek Farm. Number 3 is Siberian Cat, and number 52 is Martha 24 Jane. And similar to the other KAL, contact me with your preference, whether it's yarn, bag, or pattern. If you include your shipping address, that makes it easier for me to not have to ask you for it. Should you have the yarn or the bag, and if you have a pattern preference and that's your first choice, also let me know what that pattern is, and I can get it to you again. Boom, boom, pow. I'm all about expediency these days. I got to be efficient to get even more done. So, yeah.
Here's my efficiency. During the time we were away, I finished these socks. And I am trying really hard to think about, did I finish anything else? Well, it didn't end up in the bag. So it might have been something that I wore and then put in my closet. But these are what I have to talk about. I really loved this. Was this Kirby Werby?
And she's got stripes out there again. She took a little bit of maternity leave because she had her gorgeous little daughter.
So yes, loved this Kirby Werby yarn.
Yeah.
Something in denim. Rainbows in denim?
Rainbow suspenders. And hey, Sullivan.
earthquake, Sullivan earthquake.
I think he wants to chew on the microphone. Hey, neighborhood kid came in, and now you're trying to chew on the microphone. Stop it.
And then I had the
Rise Up.
Rise Up.
And I'll rise up. I'll rise up.
So I really enjoyed both of these patterns, and I ended up getting those done. But you'll see in my works in progress, I spent a lot of time just doing a lot of stockinette knitting.
Socks.
And while you are talking about your probably pile of things, I'm gonna look up and see if I finished anything else.
Okay.
Like, my brain is thinking, God, I must have finished something else.
All right. So when last we podcasted, I believe this was a whip, a work in progress. These are the swing left sock pattern motif in 2-color, and they are rollers for Ellie. This is the Soulmate Boysenberry Jam colorway, and then the BU Fibers Beach Wedding colorway. Absolutely love it together. It's super fun as stripes and also with the motif. Was super excited last weekend. It's been a week now. The swing left pattern went live, and Annie has a whole KAL, some beautiful yarns dyed up for that, and
yeah,
she
had to go to pre-order for the sock yarns. So.
Yeah, I think she's sending me a kit. She spoils me. I'm spoiled by Annie. But it was super fun to collaborate with her, and the first time that I've ever done a commission, and they've decided through her generosity of spirit that she wanted to make sure that all income levels could participate in the KAL, and she had it free for a day last Saturday. So that was exciting. I'm glad. Thank you for everybody's kind words out on Instagram and also on Ravelry about the thank yous and the complimenting the pattern. So swing left. Ellie will be happy that she can wear those now. I got into I had a case of the Mondays, posted it on Instagram. I think you said you did too. Just had to cast on some 2-color socks. This is the Partying Up and Getting Down sock pattern. I just made 2 Partying It Ups, and as you can see, I switched the main color and the contrast color. The pattern is written for self-striping. But you can definitely DIY it, right? So I just ended up doing the toe and then the first biasing section in that. I'm going into my like work mode. We talk about sessions a lot. And then in this session, you're doing this. Anyway, I digress. Every 2 rows, I changed colors. And then on this one, I just flip-flopped it. It's got a spacious OMG heel instead of the afterthought heel that's in that written up in that pattern, and then yes, I did the coordinating heel, toe, and cuff in alternating colors. I might put them on. I shut the window, but my toesies are getting a little cold. Yeah, and that is in that same. So Ellie got a top out of it. Ellie has matching socks out of the BU Fibers Beach Wedding, and now I've got. Socks made out of it. I think I still have another skein. I should make like a shawl or something, and we can just like be all. Yeah, we'd have to find a wall that was painted exactly like those colors, and then we could stand next to it, a la the Zach Braff movie, where he's standing there and his shirt exactly matches the wallpaper, and Natalie Portman was in it, and they were doing the Make a Unique Garden State.
Teamwork there.
Yeah, I've been struggling with names. Like I can do the neural network of like, and this person was in this movie with this person, and this was the plot of the movie, and weird things about the movie, but the name of the movie or like name of the people. Yeah, I'm really surprised I got Zach Braff and Portman there. And then the purple is left over. I was using it. I deconstructed. I had a sheephead hat like bag that I came upon, and I was like, oh my gosh, fat squirrel. Fat squirrel yarn. And
Rare.
it was a little out of necessity, but it was fun to do. I do not think I had enough of this purple to have not done the swap.
Gotcha.
And then I had it to sign. So on October 10th, 10/10 of 2018, a new kit design that's going up with Jan Smiley and Copper Corgi. It's been in the works since 2014. Woo! Woo! Yeah, the book came around and couldn't really settle on what we wanted it to be, but now we've got this highly cultivated idea in our brains. Absolutely love the Copper Corgis Jones Street Sport. It is alpaca merino and what did I just say? It's silk. Yes, it's got some drape to it. It is so drapey. And so the fabric came first. So Jan and I picked out this wonderful fabric. The kits are going to have this bag that perfectly fits the two colors. I think I showed off the yarn last time. The two colors are Splash and Buzz, I believe. And then it's going to be like a just add needles kit because you've got your Poke Me Not, which is that you can put the needles in there and make sure that you don't get poked. There is two Lose Me Knots with a stitch markers and a darning needle.
Very nice.
Yes. And then of course the two requisite yarns and the pattern to make the shawl. So this is the full circle. See, there's circles. The full circle shawl. And I really wanted to have a long drapey shawl. I really liked the biased nature of a lot of shawls out there, but they end up kind of looking like big arrows, and I find it hard to style them. So with this, you start out in the round, and you make yourself what looks kind of like a collar, which you can put it over your head as a collar, and then kind of style it around if you want. But there's also other ways to style it. So you could put your arm through it if you wanted, and it would ultimately stay there, and you could tuck an end, kind of Katniss it up if you want, if you will. But ultimately I think that it really stays put nicely because it's got that. Or you could stick the tail through the end, through that collar hole, and it looks a lot better if you've actually looking in a mirror instead of just doing it. Crazy haired. Yeah, crazy haired. But it's got 18 distinct sections, and I find that kind of like with skews, like the feeling like you're progressing through like ding ding, ding ding, ding ding. None of the pattern motifs, they're all very texturized, and look this yarn is glowing. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. We are recording during the day. Thank you all for your positive feedback on that, or positive feedback is what my brain was trying to say. I'm trying to talk really quickly. I probably should just let the words fill the amount of space that they should, so I don't say things like that. But none of the stitch patterns are more than 8 rows. So super kind of simple, lots of sections to keep things moving, lots of playing with color. And you will see in my finished object, I decided to cast on another one. I like to write it up, get it tech edited, and then do it one more time just for my own sanity's sake. But this pattern is going to be exclusive to the kit, and I don't know how many, I don't have the exact numbers on the kits or dollars quite yet, but it is coming 10/10, and I didn't know whether or not we'd have a podcast
until 10/10.
Yeah, before that, so I wanted to make sure that I got it out there, but I'm super excited about it. I'm definitely going to be taking one of these with me to Rhinebeck. Either this one in its cashmere, or not cashmere, a silky alpaca-y warmth, or my just standard merino one, but these colors, again, it really tickles me to no end, and any color theorist would be like, this is basic color theory, Megan, but like when I looked at this, it was very kind of like yellowy on its own, and the blue was very bluey, and now together it just looks like they're two colors of green. And that just like kind of, I don't know. It shouldn't continue to thrill and excite me, but it does every single time. I'm like, that was blue and that was yellow, and now they both look like they're a tone of green, which is my favorite color.
It's thrilling.
I know. It's like yarn and color excites me, Amy. I'm sorry. I refuse to apologize. And then as I mentioned, I have been in a total hat mood. Like I think there's an Insta hat cow going on, and maybe we should just encourage people to join that and then also get prizes through us, because I'm all about the hats right now.
So there's an Insta hat. Something. Do we have the hashtag?
I don't, right off the top of my head, but future Megan can look it up.
Okay, future.
Yes.
Has a job.
Yeah, she does. This one is a little small for me, but it fits little Quinn's head perfectly, and he wants it. Like he's like, when you were done with that, Mom, that is mine. And I was like, okay, well, you realize that this is pink. I don't care. I want it. I said, okay. He's like, it's okay to like things that other people don't think that you will like. And I was like, true that. He's an independent soul. He lost a front tooth, unlike the other children. Where like if it wiggled a little, they just worked it until it was out. His was like almost not attached anymore, and was like, Mom, can you help me pull this out? And so I helped him pull it out, and then I went and took him to get a haircut, because he hadn't got a haircut for months. He was really shaggy, and I kidded him that his teacher would be like, excuse me, you don't belong in this classroom, because you wouldn't recognize him, because he's got this big, he lost a front tooth, and he's got his hair all nicely cleaned up, and now everybody he talks to, he has to say, I'm Quentin. I don't know if you're going to recognize me because I got a haircut and I lost a tooth. I was like, so I thought I was being funny, and now I've got a little mini Megan running around telling people that he lost a tooth. This looks really good on my bust, my head model as well.
Okay.
Yeah. But it does not look good on me. You don't see the arrows. So this is the stitch motif that I used in a recent design, and I thought it would look really nice as a hat as well, and it does. Yeah, so
your heart is true, you're a pal and a clown.
And it's very scrappy. I could enter this into our scrappy happy kale. The pink is from our retreat.
Pink.
And the gray is from my portage, the Three Irish Girls, When Doves Cry.
Yeah, pops of purple.
With pops of purple. Yes, and these came off of Fresh Skeins. So the green is from Sun Valley Fiber in their BFL DK. And can you name the other color? Medium and Fiber Arts, Dramaturg.
Am I supposed to know it?
Metamorphosis.
Oh, is that? Oh, wow, it looks so different.
It does.
In there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And people said that about Yarn Hoarder in my shawl as well.
Yeah.
Like doing this with the arrows and the slipping and whatever, it really kind of, like a mulled wine, right? Like it gets texturized, and the colors. Well, I did tell you about my whole yellow and blue making.
Very exciting.
And I love this hat. I wore it today, and I want to wear it every day.
It was cold this morning in the soccer world.
It was cold this afternoon.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, with the wind.
Oh, yeah, it would have been here.
Yeah, windy.
Yep.
No, I mean, I wasn't nearly as cold as my husband, who went to the super early one. But it was
picture day too, so real early.
Pictures. So yeah, it will be a design coming out. I don't know that it will be named the same as the shawl. But I want to put it on everything. I want to put it on a cowl. I want to put it on a hat. I want to put it on everything.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, I'm a big fan of chevrons, as you know. And I really like the interlocking arrows.
That goes way back. The chevron.
Green arrows. Or metamorphosis arrows. Yeah. And those are my finished objects.
Cool, cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I have been working on the sock arms sweater, right?
Yes, that is the name of it.
So I have the front done, and I'm working on the back now, and a lot of that. It was
Look at you,
16 inches of knitting there.
Stocking it in the round.
Yep. So now we're at the parts where I have to pay attention, and now I'm knitting stockinette again until so many inches, so that's good. And hopefully next time we podcast, we will see something coming down the arm. We'll get to the interesting parts. And then I had a hat jump on the needles as well. So this is just the Stephen West Dustland. I've knit this hat a couple times.
Yeah, it's interesting and variegated. I've seen it a lot in a solid.
Right, right. And I just thought, oh, this could handle some texture, and the colors were very fall. I believe it was a present from Bus Knitter.
Okay.
And it was Yankee Yankee
Dyer?
Could be Yankee Dyer. But yeah, it was a gift, and I don't have the ball band. It's been I take it back. I do.
Past Amy knew that you would podcast about it.
It is the Yankee Dyer. We had it right. Maybe I can give you the color.
It's very pretty.
Leaf Peepers. So, yep, very fall, very apropos. It was so hot last weekend. That's when I started it, and I was like, give me some fall. It listened. It rained a bunch, but then it listened. I did not ask for rain, but I did ask for cooler temperatures.
Who ordered this rain?
Yeah, me too. So then also have my lemony yellow. We had a person mention the M word, so it did spend a good bit in the crisper for a weekend or two. No, it was just a couple days. Anyway, so it went into the crisper just in case. I haven't noticed any more evidence of the M word, so it seems there was one more breakage point or thing that happened, but I don't know. The integrity seems okay. And now that it's been through the crisper, there's nothing more I can do with it. So we're just going to let it go. But that is the tripartite. And it looks really teeny tiny right now. It doesn't look like a full-grown person's sweater.
That's karma, because you made fun of mine.
I know.
You're like everybody else's looks really big.
It's so baby looking. Looks wee.
It's lace on bare needles, so it will stretch. And garter, right?
Yes, and garter. So we are hoping that this bad boy stretches a lot, because I would much rather have a bigger sweater than a small sweater.
Vest.
Yeah, because it's a really cute vest, but I can imagine if it was smaller, I wouldn't like it at all. I'd have to give it away to a petite little person.
It almost looked like you were wearing like a tuxedo vest or something.
Yeah, too short. Yeah. So then I have my down the road and back again. So this is very, it's looking very pastel in this, your color magic, because it's a bright orange.
Truth.
That got quite muted in the end product. Poof. This has been really fun to just kind of pick up and put down. So I think that while I could have spent a lot of time flying through it because it was interesting, I went ahead and just...
You're savoring it.
Yeah, savoring it and going with sweaters and other things just because they were in a slump and I needed to work through them.
Work it? Let me work it.
Yeah.
Put the thing down, flip it in reverse.
So then my other thing was I didn't have any socks on the needles, but then I went ahead and cast on the most complicated.
Well, because you're knitting stockinette in the round in your sweater. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah, it went completely like cable-istic, see? So, So these are the Gimli socks. It's Lord of the Rings themed socks. I forget who the designer is, but Gimli
Mm-hmm.
is this pattern, and you'll see she has a whole slew of them. They're all very cabley, very cool looking, and hopefully these fit my husband. So I'm going to knit all the way, a fairly long, because the patterning would require it, fairly long leg.
If you don't, then your husband guilts you into like, it looks like you had more yarn. You could have made the legs look.
But but once they get to a certain length, then it'll be do or die time. Will these fit him? There was no other. I know where I could have added stitches, but there weren't any other sizes that were included in the pattern. So I was like, I'll just go with the largest size the pattern has and see where it ends up. So they might be for me, they might be for him. We'll find out in 4 more inches, 5 more inches. Probably 4 more inches. We'll find
It's a sock mystery.
it is. Who are they for? I don't know. But that is all I have in progress. I kind of put the sheep in timeout because my hands were not agreeing with crochet. So as soon as I'm ready for some crochet action again, it'll be there. And I thought I was gonna cast on some like mini monsters this weekend, the teeny tiny mini mochi or mochi land, but I have not been in the mood.
Yeah.
No tiny
That's kind of
noodles for
boom boom
me.
pal.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for, right? Instant gratification. Right?
Mhm.
Just like I am going to, boom, have a little monster. Be really fun.
Mm-hmm.
No, I just haven't been thinking. I want to get out really tiny needles.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I could make a bigger one out of bigger yarn and bigger needles, but they don't look the same when you do that.
Mm-hmm.
Look okay. They just don't look the same. Yeah. Anyway, that's it. You usually only have 1 or 2 things on the needles.
Yep,
So
I have a pair of socks that I did not grab, but I started doing some patterning on them, and then I decided that I didn't like it.
so they're designed.
Yeah, but mostly it was just like I didn't have anything
Right.
on the needles. I grabbed a skein of yarn that I had caked up and ones. So, and that's the thing that I love the most about socks, just in general. Like once you know how to grok a sock, you don't even have to have a pattern, right? Like I could have just knit stockinette if I wanted to. But it was Queen City in the Lush colorway that she sent to us, and I was thinking that the patterning was going to look really nice with the kind of greeny variegated, and then just wasn't loving it. Just wasn't loving it.
All right. Well, you seem to be loving the ones in front of you.
Yes, I am. So this is some sport that I could find in my, since this shawl is out of sport, that I could find in my stash. I don't have a great deal of sport. I have a lot of DK. Like I went like, must have DK at one point, and just lots of single skeins of that. But sport, not as much. I believe this is Bugga from, the green is Bugga from back when it wasn't Sanguine Griffin, or it was.
Okay.
I can't remember now. Are they still around? My brain is not completing.
I believe
I feel
they
like something
separated
happened. Yes.
into 2 dye houses.
Yep. And then the pink is Acid Trip from Leading Men Fiber Arts. I went a little nutso on the Acid Trip. So it's you can see, it's kind of interesting to take a look at it. So you can see where when you have these solid colors, you can really see the texturing. The green, I really like it. I like both of the effects. The green is more of a tonal, and then there are a little bit of pops of green within that pink. So I knew that, like for instance, this kind of speckle garters wasn't going to pop as much. It definitely popped a little bit more with the green as the main color and that speckle pop. But even then, there are some of the pops that are green. Love it all the same. The Bugga is super soft, and this apparently Acid Trip is something that I enjoy in shawls. Because I put it in shawls a lot. That pink, and yeah, it's very. I know you're not a huge fan of pink and green, but it makes my heart go pitter pat. So true. Does. And there was a little reddier green, and that did read a little more Christmas, but to me this does not read Christmas at all. It's very more spring, less fall.
Yeah.
But so, and I guess if I wanted to, I could wear it and hit it.
You could.
Yeah. Do. Or yeah, if this were getting long and dangly, I could put it on my arm. Gosh, it's getting warm though now with this alpaca on, and so. And that is the one and only work in progress that's fit to be shown. I finished that hat. I wanted to cast on an immediate other one, but I was like, I gotta prioritize this shawl.
All right.
Get out in front of my test knitters and make sure that if I find anything in the pattern, I'm the one finding it.
Yeah.
Purchases.
So I bought Leading Men Fiber Arts September colorway. It was a very pretty speckled gray and all different sorts of gray, maybe more white, but it seems gray when it's all the speckles together. Really loved it. Got it in my usual dramaturg and the Showstopper. Is that what it comes in? Showstopper as the mini. Love it. Do plan to do stuff with that, but now I'm leaning, like I was thinking about designing, but now my brain is like, no, don't want to think, just find me a pattern. So I'm on the hunt for a pattern that would be like a lap blanket, or but I want it to be kind of modular, or I could just make it kind of like a find your fade type thing. Just try to find the fade within the year. And
I think that that kind of white and black is very stunning. I mean, like if you were going to combine it with something else, it's definitely going to. It's a good supporting actress, right? Like it's going to lift up and elevate another color.
It could definitely be like the fade part, like just use it to gradiate the other ones together throughout. That would be cool. Which might end up me ordering more because one skein might not be able to do that for all the rest of them.
That's how I ended up with acid trip and all. I was like, and sport and fingering and.
So I had a Etsy gift card, and I was trying to figure out
gift, right?
Yeah. So I was wondering what I should possibly get, and there's a lot of people doing things with texture and different types of stuff, and mohair is really big right now. So I have a mohair silk from Sweet Sparrow Yarns, who is one of our generous sponsors, and I also got a really pretty color from her. So I don't know if I'm going to combine those pretty colors together with the one that I bought, or create something else that would go together. But loving this. It is called the Wrapped Up in Books colorway.
Very pretty.
Very pretty. Like I'm looking at it and I'm like, I don't know how this is going to wind up because it looks very like fuzzed together. And again, it's in the hank, so I don't know. I mean, it could just be appearances, right?
Yeah.
Because mohair is mohair.
I haven't seen any.
No,
I need somebody to knit one of those Eltons, the Hohi Locatelli.
Oh yeah.
With the stripe that is just the mohair held single. Because I would worry about that like popping a stitch.
Oh.
Because it's so thin compared to the other one. I always think of mohair being held together with something, though. So I need somebody to knit one of those, and I need to see it in person. It's kind of like the bumblebee shouldn't fly, but it does.
Have you ever tried to break a mohair strand? I mean, and this is mohair silk, so I'm thinking it'd be really tough to break. And then also, you had gotten...
Yeah, we had somebody send, very generously, send us some yarn to review and to play around with ourselves. And so it is Rebel Pearl out on Instagram and rebelpearl.com. It is Mary. She is the owner, dyer, and Rebel out of Bloomington, Indiana. And rebellions are built on yarn. Rebel Pearl. And some of her naming is just so fun. So this one is named after her logo. So this is just, again, Rebel Pearl, which in and of itself is super fun. But but the sock weight yarn is called 4 Plies of Apocalypse.
This is the best of the worsted. It's an 8-ply worsted weight, and I chose that so that I could make either a hat with our hat along we're going to be doing. So
I feel like maybe I ET'd the hat to you.
You
like
did.
I was like, hats.
Yeah. So if we're going to be doing that, then I could totally use that opportunity to make a hat and try this out.
Yes.
So I can let you know how it goes.
Yes, so thank you to Mary. Go ahead and follow her out on Instagram and take a look at revelpearl.com. And she sent 2 of these, so I'm going to take one because blue and purple are my thing, and then we'll be giving away another.
Yeah. So once we've had a chance to review it, we'll have a giveaway.
And yours was called Queen V, and I wonder
Queen V.
if that was named after in Shameless. They call her V.
Could be. I am not a Shameless watcher, so I would not know.
You don't shamelessly love Shameless?
No. I mean, I'm sure it would be great, but I haven't turned it on yet. It's a commitment.
It is. 8 seasons. It can be quite the commitment.
So I also agreed to, I'm not like this color. Anyway,
Just a little bit.
I also agreed to do a sample knit for Copper Corgi, and I balled up these lovely alpaca skeins last night. This is basically the worsted version of what you knit your shawl out of. And it's going to be a little tee. So I got to cast that on here shortly.
A top?
Yeah, a tee top.
Okay.
A t-shirt top.
There's something oddly satisfying about it in this form factor.
I know. I love the ball. Like, and I could tell that as I was doing this really quickly. I was like, oh, it's getting in my nose a little bit. But that was furious, you know. So I have a feeling knitting with it will be just fine.
Yeah. Could have a yarn ball fight. Like snowball fight.
But yes, very satisfying in ball form. I do that every once in a while. I was watching TV, I didn't feel like knitting. I made balls.
Kept your hands busy, right?
I did.
I was around the time of, isn't that pretty? Around the time of the Tits Out Collective, I was out and had decided that I didn't get in yarn karma wise. I wasn't out there with grabby hands getting in to a lot of the orders, but the Harborland had this, which is the If I Want Exposure, I'll Get My Tits Out, the demure version on her Yakety Yak socks. So this is 70-20-10 merino yak nylon. And again, it's almost like that alpaca, right? It's like iridescent, like the depth of color, like it's glowing. Again, hopefully
the muted version is glowing.
The demure version. And then while I was out there, this very speckle-tastic skein also decided it wanted to come home with me, Spabes from Outer Space, on her Pax socks. So, just so much fun. Look at all those different speckles.
Yes.
It's gonna make me happy.
Yeah, I have been, like, click by, happy pretty much.
Well, the funny thing about this purchase is we didn't talk about it last time, remember? And I was like, I swear that I bought something that I hadn't talked about the previous time, and we didn't, and I forgot to grab it this time, and I'd completely forgotten about it. And so when I was kind of like tidying up my yarning room, as Quentin would call it, like it was like a surprise all over again. Like I had forgotten that I bought it. What is this? Oh my gosh, that's right, I love it. And this stitch marker, my kids were all about.
Sharp. That's cool.
He's got a retractable jaw.
Yeah, hinge.
So he shipped flat. But I just love it. Durner. It kind of makes me want to like
Make it bite the yarn.
Anyway,
Cheating yarn.
having too much fun with colors and yarn. People are like, you guys should not record during the day. Megan is a bit weird. All right.
Retreat.
What? We're talking about ZK again.
Yep. How did that happen?
I don't know. I feel like we were just doing it, and we were just scrambling to do it, and we were just planning to do it again, and now we're back to planning to do it again.
Yeah.
It's like when people count down the days to their birthday, and then after the birthday's over, it's like, okay, only 365 more.
Yeah.
You're like, woo, that came back around quick. So ZK 2019 is June 19th of 2019. That's
very cool.
A lot of 19s there. 2 of them are the year.
Mm-hmm.
ZK 2019 is in 2019, strangely. And we've got signups. We got to get people signed up to come.
Yes.
You want to come because we're going to have a good time. We always have a good time. Wanted to, again, not to be a downer, just wanted to mention that our hearts go out to dear Jeanette and Kevin, longtime attendees. I believe they've been to every single ZK since the original ZK. And Jeanette unfortunately passed away. But it's hard to think of a ZK without them there.
Right. They take our picture.
Yeah. Yep. Kevin is always the photographer, and they always bring their camera and send it to us. Again, don't want to be a downer to folks, but just to let people know that I'd been to ZK, to send some love and some thoughts of healing and peace to their dear family that is part of our ZK family. Mm-hmm. Anyway, June 19th, 2019, sign-ups are going to be September 30th. That is a Sunday.
Yep. At
3 p.m.
Yep.
Cost is $130. There will be 200 spots. We always do first come, first serve. So get out there at 3 p.m. on Sunday, September 30th. That's the last day of September, right? Yep. There's no 31 days in September, are there?
I don't think so. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because it's October 31st.
Yeah, I have to do my knuckle thing. But I'm pretty sure that's the last day in September. We'll have it all out on the sign-up page, but our cancellation policy is that if you cancel in 2018 for the 2019 event, you get $30 or $60 back, and if you do it before May in 2019, you get $30 back. Yep. The room block information about the hotel rooms will be out on that same, or we will send it out. Will be posted in email after all the spots are filled. So we want to give folks that grab those last few spots equal opportunity to grab the room block.
Yep.
So that's exciting, and the vendor signups will be out there as well. So we always welcome folks returning and brand new to join the retreat and to join the vending. Yeah, it's always a good time. Amy's like, yeah. But it's always a good time, and we always have a good time. Super excited about the people that are super excited about it. And I think, according to last year's post that I looked, we're just a few days delayed from the signups last year, which were maybe a few days delayed from the previous years. So we just keep on slightly.
We're in the, I don't know what I want to call it.
Timeframe?
I was just gonna say we're in the later years of kid rearing slide. Like it feels like. Mm-hmm. Maybe we'll pick up steam again when they leave the house. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but
I feel like they're independent, but yet they still really need me.
I am doing a lot of, you very wisely, 2 parents, 2 children. I'm doing a lot of we need to be in 3 places at one time, and there are 2 of us. So it very much does take a village. Have to start trying to find people that are on one of the soccer practices or biking practices and being like, on Tuesdays and Thursdays we have to be south, north, and east all at the same time. Jeremy and I are 2 people.
Yeah. So we're gonna get distracted by all of that, but
sign-ups are gonna be there. Super excited. We're gonna post it in all the places that we can. Instagram, on the website. I believe we send out a reminder email to the previous year's attendees, just to remind folks when it's going to happen. Hopefully everybody will be updated. That's 8 days away, so the podcast will be out there as well. And we look forward to all of the returning faces and new faces that we will see. Yep. So,
all right. Bye.
Bye, Uta.